Usually you typically get the question of what did you tell them at halftime? But what changed in that third quarter?
No, I think I didn't really say anything at halftime. To be frank, we watched some of the clips of the first half. I liked a lot of things that were going on, and I think the score didn't really necessarily indicate how we were playing. There were probably 5 or 6 glitches mentally, that led to easy baskets defensively. But for the most part, I thought it was a pretty good energy, and I really liked the way things were going offensively. So we just stayed the course, and things were definitely working in our favor in that second half.
You guys have talked for the past few games about liking the shots you're getting. They just weren't falling. Was today a product of kind of a lot of those shots falling tonight that you guys were missing the last few?
Yeah, that was a part of it, and I still think we have a couple other levels to get to. But I really liked some of the actions and willingness for guys to try to help another guy get a shot. And that's not just leading to a three. It's things that were leading to opportunities in the paint. Collaborating to try to generate a really good look for our basketball team, and guys were really committed, to that process. And I just liked the way the flow was going offensively. Whether the shots were going down or not.
We know Bam can do pretty much anything defensively, but you haven't usually asked him to play much zone. So what do you like about him in that look this season?
Like zone scheme or are we doing pick and rolls?
Scheme. 2-3.
Oh, he's been doing that for a long time, right? Yeah. I'm sure you're going to look into the stats and find out exactly how many times. But yeah, like he has a lot of institutional understanding and knowledge of what we're looking for in that. I just think he's the absolute Swiss Army knife defensively. We can literally do whatever scheme, pick and roll wise, or man to man, or zone, switch, be like everything. But that's if you're in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, you should be able to do all of those things. And I don't think all the guys in the conversation can do those things. And this team is a little bit different. So we have to do some different things, but you have to have a guy like Bam that can be an anchor and have that absolute versatility where we can adjust and tweak things as the season goes on based on, what we need to do and what's working for us, not necessarily what we planned on doing. He makes it look a lot easier than it is, but he's just extremely versatile. And that's helpful that he can play, the man or the zone. And he's doing a lot of different things, even when we're in our man.
Just more generally, he's defending a pretty low number of isolations this year, and that might be the different coverages, but our team's doing a better job or making a more assertive effort to avoid him defensively.
I'm sure they probably are. I mean, that's irresponsible if you're not going through a scouting report, and if you're just going into a game and going through your normal stuff, and he ends up on a guy who has an opportunity to make a play, and you're not really giving that a lot of thought, that's probably not responsible. And so that's the ultimate respect, right? It's like those great defensive backs or, I don't know, linebacker. You're going somewhere else, but that's been a hard-earned reputation. And because of that, we want to continue to be able to maximize his strengths as teams now are trying to maximize going away from his strengths. So we just have to keep on trying to figure that out. But he really is unique defensively. He's special.
Gabe, before the start of the season, was saying how he wanted to grow the mid-range aspect of his offensive game. What do you think that could do to unlock other parts of his scoring ability?
When it's needed. I don't want to live in that profile. But he's been doing so many good things for us, but if the conversation is going to be about his mid-range, no, that ain't it. Like, he can definitely make shots, like, end of the clock and end of the possession. We're just going to continue to try to drive, like, what kind of profile we want to get to.
You've spoken so many times about the ignitability of certain guys, Max, of course, among them. Even at this level, though, when a guy goes 2 for 11 or whatever he was the other night, does he need? Do guys like that need nights like this to sort of just remind themselves of that ignitability, or is that
probably
not?
yeah, we're all human, you know. Yeah, like it's one thing for the staff and the players and everybody to say, hey, we're generating great looks, but if the ball's not going in, eventually, like, what are you believing, reality or the perception? You know. And but we have a very level-headed group, you know. Like, the group understands when we're getting to our strengths and when we're not. You know, and the defense and opponents will have a say in that as well. But we have a smart team. And even when we're not getting to what we want to get to, the guys understand, you know, how we can try to get to our strength zones more. And that's been part of the discipline, you know, particularly the last 5 games. We all have felt, and particularly when we've watched film and been able to review things like yesterday, that there have been a lot of really good things, and you have to trust it. And, you know, particularly from the three-point line, there's going to be some ebbs and flows, but are you generating those shots in your wheelhouse? And I feel like we have, and that's not just coach speak, you know, the last several games.
When looking at Max tonight, he has 8 threes, but what have you noticed, I guess, in the development of him noticing overplays, like in terms of just making instinctive cuts like that when they are guarding him, when he's hitting that many, like compared to last year, what is the difference, I guess, in his mental making those decisions?
Well, he's really worked at it. You know, all of our three-point shooters have worked at it, you know, especially coming off of last year where they were game planned so much to get off that three-point line. So they've spent an entire offseason really trying to develop other aspects of the game. And for Max, it's really important because he has great instincts as a cutter and off the ball, not just to run to the action or to the basket or to the basketball, but to generate some easy opportunities for us or overreactions by him cutting behind the defense. And he has really good instincts for that. Thank you, Coach. Okay, thanks.